Hey everybody, so in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about the dual SIM capabilities of the new iPhones, the XS and the XS Max, and why the Hong Kong, China, Macau version of the iPhones are even better. So I'm going to play an Instagram video in the background just because I know it gets boring watching my hand when the phone non-stop. So I'll just have something play so you can have some stuff to watch. So when Apple announced the new iPhones, one of the features that I was most excited about was that it would support dual SIMs. The ability to run two SIM cards on one phone, it's kind of foreign to Americans because Americans tend to buy phones from a carrier that are locked, so they can't switch SIM cards anyway, even if they want. And two, for various reasons, Americans don't travel internationally as much as people in Asia and Europe. So to them, they don't need to have two SIM cards in the phone because the reason you want two SIM cards is I guess one reason is you want a second phone number, maybe for work, one for home. But the biggest reason people like me in Hong Kong need dual SIM cards because we travel a lot. So I live in Hong Kong, but I go up to China to work just about every week. And because it's really close, it's like 45 minutes by car, I'm already in China. So having dual SIM cards is useful for me because I have a Hong Kong SIM card and a China SIM card. So whenever I travel across the border, if I'm using an Android phone, and Android phones in Asia tend to have dual SIM support. So this is a Huawei P20 Pro. It's the one from Asia. So you see there's dual SIM supports. So I can have my Hong Kong SIM and my China SIM in there full time. So when I get up to China, I don't have to like physically pull out a SIM tray and swap SIM cards. I just have to go into settings, hit a couple of taps, which I'll show you in a bit after the phone boots up, and it'll swap SIM cards. But before, when I was using an iPhone, I always had to, when I get to the border, I have to be like, oh yeah, I have to switch to my China SIM. So I have to get up, find a pin, which, sometimes you don't have on you, so it's annoying. I have to get a pin, hit the tray, pull out the tray, and then fiddle with these tiny ass SIM cards. And it's really annoying and kind of hassle. So for the longest time, part of the reason I didn't want to use iPhones is because of that. So luckily, the new iPhones support dual SIMs. Now, China and Hong Kong are getting the best versions because we are the only ones with actual SIM trays that can hold two SIM cards. Oop, sorry. So yeah, this is the XS Max Hong Kong version, and you see my SIM tray right now has one SIM card right here, and there's one more slot here for a second SIM card. If you buy a new iPhone from Japan, America, Germany, your SIM tray can only hold one SIM card still. But Apple is giving you a secondary SIM support via eSIM. Now you're not familiar, an eSIM is basically a digital SIM card that you have to go to your carrier to register. And after you register, that SIM card and all of its data, meaning all the information, all the phone number, whatever data plan you have, will be embedded into the phone's chipset. So then after that, you can still use the SIM slot for a second SIM card. So you have one, basically you have two accounts. One is a physical SIM, one is an eSIM. Now that sounds good in theory, but it's not that useful because eSIMs are not widely supported right now. I've definitely gotten comments from people living in certain countries that don't allow eSIMs yet. So then for them, they can't get dual SIMs. Second, even if your carrier supports dual SIM, you have to register, and that takes a while. Once you register, that SIM card stays in your phone, and if you want to switch, if you want to move that eSIM account to another phone, you have to contact your carrier and let them do it. And I'm pretty sure it's going to take at least hours, if not days. There's no way that you can just call your carrier and they'll do it in like a minute, right? It always takes hours. So now I want to talk about how the two phones differ in how they handle dual SIMs. So traditionally in Android, when you have two SIM cards, you can go to dual SIM settings and you can turn them on and off. So what I do is, if I have a Hong Kong SIM and a China SIM in there and I'm in Hong Kong, I just turn off the China SIM completely. So that card is unreachable. It's like it doesn't exist until I get to China, then I turn it on. The iPhone, for some reason, does not let you do that. You cannot turn off your second SIM. So when you have two SIMs in there, both accounts run. But the good news is you can go into settings right here and just kind of set your default for voice calls and cellular plan. So right now my cellular plan, it's on primary. So I have two SIM cards in this phone right now. I have a Hong Kong SIM card, which is my primary, and a UK SIM card from 3, because I'm going to London soon for the Huawei Mate 20 launch. So For cellular plan, I'm gonna set the primary because I don't want my UK SIM card to run right now when I'm in Hong Kong. So when I get to London tonight, I will then switch cellular to secondary. And then also same with prime default voice line. Right now it's primary. I can change it to secondary if I want, but then I don't want to do that because that might start roaming on my UK card when I don't want that. But the catch is because the UK card is technically still running, I'm still getting SMS messages. So you see, I'm getting these text messages from my UK SIM card. If I'm on an Android phone, I would not be getting these messages because the card would just be off. So there's pros and cons to iPhones leaving both cards on. The pro is you won't miss any text messages even if you are not using that card right now. Because a lot of times on Android, when I'm in Hong Kong, I turn off my China SIM. So if someone messages me on my China SIM, I don't get that message at all until I turn it on. But the con is also, if you forget to change your settings to primary, then you might accidentally be using your secondary SIM's data, and that might cost you a lot of money. So let's say, for example, I'm using my Hong Kong SIM right now. Say if I get to London and I forget to go into cellular plans and change to secondary, then when I'm in London, they might start using my Hong Kong SIM card's data on roaming, and I'll just come back with a really large bill. So it's a bit safer for people who might not always remember to do these things on an Android because they can just literally turn off that SIM. So if I go to London, I'll just turn off SIM 1. So when I get to London, there's like zero chance my Hong Kong SIM can be used. Whereas on an iPhone, my Hong Kong SIM will technically still be running. I have to set the data to something else. So this is a quick rundown of the dual SIM capabilities of the iPhone. I'm so glad Hong Kong and China got the real dual SIM, not like that eSIM stuff that's not even ready. You have to wait for Apple to roll out services, which maybe end of this year, and then you have to go to your carrier to set it up. So Hong Kong and China definitely have the best iPhones. Thanks for watching.